I read We Used to Live Here. I want to talk about it. So, We Used to Live Here started, I believe, as a no sleep Reddit story. Got turned into a novel. It is by Marcus Kleiber. I believe I'm saying that correctly. If not, I apologize. And I believe it's his debut novel. And that's all I knew about it going into it. The back cover says it's about a queer couple that flips houses, Charlie and Eve, and they get this killer deal on a house on this old property. And then there's a knock at the door, and there's a man standing there with his family that says he used to live there and he wants to show his family around where he used to live. And Eve, being a people pleaser, reluctantly lets them in. And things just start getting weird as soon as they enter the house. That's all I knew going into this. I just picked it up off suggestions from other booktubers, book talkers. A lot of people recommended this, so I gave it a shot. And when I first started reading it, I was actually immediately kind of turned off even by the premise. Um, the first couple pages, I sort of felt like, this was a bad idea. This wasted money on a book. But I kept reading. I trudged through, and I'm really glad I did. I picked this up just yesterday, started reading it, and read the entire thing in one day. I could not put it down. And as soon as I put it down, as soon as I was done with it, I wanted to start over and reread it. This book is fantastic. It is mind bending. It is a trip. It really makes you like question reality, question what really is going on. Um, so the story is that this couple, Charlie and Eve, buy this property in sort of this remote part of the Pacific Northwest. And they're going to fix it up and flip it. And one night, Eve is there alone working on the house while Charlie is away. And this family shows up. It's Thomas and his wife, Paige, and their three kids. And he just says that he used to live there and they're moving, they're leaving the state because he got a new job. So he was hoping he could show his family around before they leave, just to show them where he grew up. And Eve is notably not very excited about that prospect and sort of turns him away, but then feels guilty and calls him back. Um, and then as soon as they get in the house, things keep happening that sort of prevent them from leaving, and Eve gets more and more on edge. Charlie comes home and the weather has gotten bad, and they agree to let the family spend the night. And when they wake up in the morning, Charlie is gone, and things just get weirder and weirder from there. Um, if you haven't read it, I don't want to give anything else away. It's really hard to talk about anything going on in this book without spoiling it. So if you haven't read it, absolutely recommend. This is a must read for me. It was amazing. I'm actually planning to reread it. And it's one of the few books that after reading it, I wish I could go back and reread again for the first time. Um, One of the things that's kind of unique, not necessarily just to this book, but you don't see it a lot, is between chapters, between the story we're currently reading, it is mixed in with other pieces of information. Like chapter 2 of this book is just the property listing for the house that they bought. There are transcripts of odd police interviews and interrogations and reports on scientific works, and there's just different pieces of information that all play into the weirdness and the weird building the weirdness and the world building that is this story. And it is really a trip. Everything doesn't get explained to you, and that's by design. um, the ending of this book, it was a little bit of a gut punch for me, and I thought it was fantastic, and it gave enough closure to me personally. um, but I did see a lot of other reviewers saying that they weren't happy with the ending, that they thought there were too many loose ends. And given there are some loose ends, but the story is told from the perspective of Eve, so we kind of don't know a whole lot more than what Eve knows, aside from the world building aspects of those other pieces of information outside the story. Um, but if you're looking for a spoiler free review, that's as much as I can offer. I am going to talk about a little bit of spoilers. So if you did read the book, stick around. If you haven't read it, go read it, come back, and let me know what you thought of it. So that's your warning. If you don't want spoiled, bail out now. I'm going to start, I think, with the end of the book and what I think that means for other pieces of the book. So for anyone who read, you know, the story ends with Eve is in like a mental institution, supposedly. I've seen theories that she's still in the house, that's not even actually a mental institution. But Thomas came in and said he forgave her, but then his face twitched, indicating that maybe he wasn't really Thomas anyway. And he gave her that folder that had the locket with the only known picture of Eve Palmer, indicating to me that she is really Eve. All of that was real. All of this mind-bending stuff did actually happen, and she is now in an alternate reality. And I think that happened as soon as she invited Thomas and his family into the house. After they were in the house, when Charlie came back, I don't think that was the same Charlie. I think as soon as Thomas came in and his family came into the house, that was an alternate reality right there. That's my interpretation. I do not know that for sure. A lot of people have a lot of theories, but that's the way I took it. One really interesting thing that I didn't really understand what was happening when she went to the neighbor's house, and it was the creepy hallway with the phone ringing, and it was supposedly Charlie calling back. I didn't pick up on it right away, but the interesting theory I heard is that people trapped in this weird alternate reality loop can get out by like a replacement, and that was Heather trying to set up a trap to replace Eve with her so she could escape. And I thought that was really interesting. Another piece of information that I didn't see a whole lot of people talking about, and I was really surprised, is when she's at the old house and she meets the old man there, he's described as having a scar that runs down his cheek, which to me matches the scar someone would have from when she hit Thomas with the claw hammer. So I kind of think in some way maybe that's the original Thomas, and the Thomas with the family is an alternate version of Thomas. Again, I don't know that for sure. All of it's just speculation. I'm going to reread it and really put some thought into trying to figure out what is actually going on with these timelines. But I absolutely love this book. So definitely must read for me. Loved it. If you read it, let me know what you thought of it. I'd love some more information. I started peeking around in some of the subreddits that talk about what might be going on here. I looked at the old house archives a bit and started piecing through that. Apparently the Barnes & Noble special edition, which I do not have, had some kind of information on Kilroy, which I thought was interesting. But yeah, definitely go. If you haven't read it and you're still here, give it a read. If you have read it, let me know what you thought about it. Let me know what I'm missing. It was complete enough for me, but obviously I don't know what the whole story is, what the actual reality is. I don't know if anyone does yet. But yeah, that's it. That's We Used to Live Here. Fantastic book and highly recommend. See you next time.